I became an architect because I wanted to design buildings. I wanted to change the landscape of the world around me. An existing building has a certain kind of character to it, and it's fun to revisit that and to find ways to bring that back to life, to celebrate those details in a way that's appropriate for today's technologies and trends. Repositioning a building is taking an existing structure and imagining it as something new.
What we're really talking about is recycling buildings from their current state into a future state that has more relevant use to today's needs.
The number one challenge is always, how much is it going to cost me? It's always that. And can I get what I want out of this building? You have to have a willingness to accept the conditions as they are and have the vision and imagination to see what they could be.
Choosing building repositioning as a strategy from an owner's perspective is really simply a math equation. And the math equation says, I have a building on a piece of property. Is my intrinsic value only the land, or is it the land and the building? By virtue of the fact that these buildings haven't been renovated, they haven't been repositioned, they haven't been necessarily upgraded to current standards, they're falling behind the market. The primary goal of repositioning is to find the value in that existing building so that you're not spending as much money to renovate it to bring it up to a standard that is market rate, that is competing with today's state-of-the-art facilities. If I then look at a study that says, wow, I can take that existing building and maybe there's nothing wrong with the structure, maybe there's nothing wrong with the skin. Those are building elements that I don't have to buy on a comparative basis in a new building. It gives me a financial advantage when I want to go out and say my renovated building costs X compared to a new building which costs Y. One of the real advantages of considering a repositioning project over a new construction project is one of schedule. Oftentimes the critical path of a schedule for a new building travels through the structure. It can't be done unless the structure is done. In the case of an existing building, that structure is there.
Throughout the country, we've had an opportunity to touch a lot of buildings and find ways to celebrate those buildings and really give them new life and make them into profitable assets that are useful to our clients.
Our firm originally did the Love Field Terminal here in Dallas. That was back in the early 50s. And we just had the recent honor of having the opportunity to renovate that facility up to modern standards.
Corgan was really good about listening to our needs and our wants as well as the airlines to make sure we had a very functional, beautiful terminal. And we think they did a fantastic job. They're not overemphasizing any specific design element, but really incorporating all the little things that make it a wonderful terminal for both the staff to operate and maintain, as well as the customers to enjoy and experience.
So one of my favorite projects that I worked on was the Fossil Global Headquarters. It was an old building, it had been vacant for a while, it had wood paneling on the walls.
We were looking for something very open, lots of natural light, and Corgan was really able to envision that from the first walkthrough by simply stripping down materials, removing floor, removing paint from concrete vents. We were really able to bring out the authentic character that was already here in the building. Corgan was able to transform a campus of isolated and compartmentalized buildings into one building that really connected our people, fostered creativity, and brought visibility to our portfolio of world-class brands.
We spend all of our time inside of buildings, so why can't we make them as great as possible? Tenants want them to be functional, healthy, and inspiring. For Corgan, repositioning is a method that provides all three.